Yeah. I like to schedule time away from the computer and the phone every day where I just write and I'm with my thoughts. I happen to do it the exact same time David Fizdale was fired. Rushing home right now, about to record. I hit up Mom's. We're ready. Got a lot to talk about.
Take notes.
Big Beach. We're here.
My man, Alan,
It's different this time.
Mom, mother.
Didn't I tell you? Give me the time. Didn't I tell you? Give me the time when this is gonna happen. Let me tell you what I just heard.
Woo.
I just heard that they allowed Fizz to run the practice, and at the end of the practice, they said, "All New York Knicks fans gather around, and everyone put your hand in." Not so fast, Fizdale. I literally just heard that. That's
not what happened. That's BS. That's not what happened.
They're
trying to make it worse.
But it totally could have. But it totally could have.
Scott Perry, but here's the thing. That happened in private. Scott Perry's not an idiot like that, right? That W didn't happen. That's ESPN people. ESPN people like it was ESPN.
I love it. No, it's not ESPN. It's the Michael K show.
Same shit. All right, here's what happened. I think they probably let him. Now, I'm against the fact that he even ran practice this morning if they knew they were doing this.
Why?
That's typical Knicks shit. Right. But what I will say, it could have been a case where they wanted to see the team and Fizdale together one last time and see if it really made sense to keep him here. So, as you can tell from the conversation, everyone, David Fizdale has been fired a year and change into his Knicks career. I think 103 or 104 games, basically. Let me get Woj up here.
I was gonna say who actually dropped it? Was it Woj?
Well, yeah, Woj bomb, boom. But boom. I was at I was in a coffee shop about to get into some work, really excited, planning by 2020. And as soon as I got my coffee, boom. And I scheduled some time every day to try to not be online, and that was my time to do work. And the second I just happened to look at Twitter, boom. So big deal. Fizdale was 21 and 83 during his time with the Knicks.
Wow.
Pretty bad. Funny enough, it really is reminiscent of his time in Memphis because he ended the second season where he got fired. He got fired after losing 8 games in a row. And the Knicks are current at the beginning of the season. And the Knicks are currently on an 8-game losing streak at the beginning of the second season.
Gotcha.
I want to shout out a Grizzly fan who told me on Reddit. He didn't tell me. He told the Knicks Reddit. He said, I'm going to read it verbatim. We will do our part in ensuring that the narrative doesn't become, oh, Fizdale was set up to fail this whole time. He deserves another chance with a competent organization. Because we know that's the narrative the media will try to spin. We got your back. I've spent time looking at what Memphis Grizzly fans have said about his time there, and they have reiterated a lot of the same issues that we've had. They've said there's no system, guys are doing whatever they want, he's not holding people accountable, and he keeps changing his mind. And I'm like, that's
everything we've been saying. That's everything.
And listen, there are a lot of issues starting with Steve. There's so much to talk about from the front office perspective. Fizdale is not the only issue. But
right, so I want to make that point. Yeah. I want to make that point because this is not just about, oh, we fired the coach, so now we're good. No. There's a lot more that has to happen here. And quite frankly, I really liked your idea that you told me yesterday, which was about, if we were giving Fizdale another chance, that it actually should be collectively the whole front office having accountability. Because right now, a lot of people can look at this like, oh, he's a scapegoat. Let's just give him all the blame, so now we got rid of him. But there are other pieces there. Scott Perry is there, Steve Mills is there. Steve Mills has been there for a long time. And these issues that we've been having with the Knicks have been going on for a long time.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that it's Steve Mills only, or it's David Fizdale only, or it's Scott Perry only. Actually, I don't want to put Scott Perry's name in that mix, to be honest with you.
I feel like he's kind of...
I feel like they did their part of the job, to be honest. I feel like...
Okay,
in a way.
But we'll get there.
In a way.
I'm so hyped. I'm up the coffee. I'm like, let's go.
I'm still drinking that wine. But here's the thing. Though, right? And I know some people are going to probably argue we saw things before where people were like, oh, well, Fizz, did so well with the Heat. He was coaching superstars. You guys all know that LeBron does not have a coach. LeBron is the coach. LeBron is the one coaching the team.
And he was like that third assistant, by the way. It's not like Fizdale was coaching.
Okay, so right now I'm hearing talk about Mike Miller coming up from the G League to be the interim coach.
Yep.
Last night,
Well, now he's coming up. Remember,
he's already there, right?
With the team
last
now.
night, I was trying to start a chant, but I really wasn't trying to start a chant. To move Caleb Canales up to the coaching position. You told me I don't know a lot about him, but you told me you think he's really smart and you like
smart guy.
His style.
Yeah.
So.
Woo! Well, let's say this.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Wasserman, an NBA reporter, just reported that the Knicks sources say Mike Miller is the favorite to be the interim head coach. I'm going to tell you what I really like. Oh, my God. Okay, whoa.
What do you say?
Now the stuff is coming out. Okay, wait. Another tidbit from a Knicks source. 2 Knicks players in the last 2 weeks had altercations with Fizdale.
Get out.
Separate incidents. One was verbal from a young player. The other was a vet.
So I'm calling either Morris or Bobby Portis for the vet that had a confrontation with him.
I would say Morris.
And I'm actually putting Mitchell Robinson.
Really? It's my guy Frank. Frank walked up. Frank walked up and was like, "Je m'appelle Franck." It probably was DSJ or Trier.
Oh, well, listen, you're saying young. I'm thinking that it's one of our guys that we drafted. So no, I could see DSJ. I could see DSJ having some words with him.
I could see Trier, who's not been playing.
So yes, I totally forgot about him because he hasn't been playing. So
all right, so let's see. Okay, so Mike Miller, we've been talking about him for a long time. He did a really good job in the G League with Westchester. Won Coach of the Year. I think he won the championship one year. What I like about this this interim coach thing at least, is that at least from an organizational perspective, this is a coach we developed. This is a coach who started in the G League, succeeded there, fixed Trey Burke's career, right? Remember,
that's
Trey
true.
Burke
That's true.
was a bust. He had to go to the G League, fix his stuff. Kadeem Allen,
Kadeem
look how
Allen,
good he's done.
right?
Luke Cornett, a G League player, now playing for the Bulls.
Iggy. I mean, I know he just got here, but he's scoring 20 plus 25 plus points.
And I think what the G League is, what they've been doing in the G League, Miller hasn't really coached Iggy at all because Miller's been with the main team. But I think the G League program has been making sense compared to the main team. So if we're promoting from within, that's a good thing, right? And here's my argument, my end argument with Fizz. You've heard everything we've had to say for the past 2 weeks. It's really this for me. So 2 things. One, we're 103, 104 games into not even into his 10. It's done. So his tenure has happened. What was your favorite thing from him as a coach during the last year and a half? And I don't know. I don't think anyone can answer that question. That's one.
For me, it was really just sort of the camaraderie that I thought he brought amongst the players, which is a part of being a coach, but it's the off-court part. So remember last year, we were very happy with him, feeling that he really brought the players together. They were having Thanksgiving together or whatever. But then immediately this season, when the season started, one of the first things I said to you was, I'm not seeing any system. Like, what are they doing? Like, what's the play? Like, what's happening? And then we even said, okay, well, maybe he's just letting them do whatever they want to do, or not whatever they want to do, but letting them kind of run free right now. And then he's going to implement certain procedures. It was almost like there were no procedures in place.
I mean, this goes back.
Procedures, and that's the wrong word, but you understand what I'm saying.
That goes back to last year. So number 2, and this is even more important for me, and I want to make this clear. If you think Fizdale is really good, right? Like you think he's really a good coach, and this was too soon, I'd argue we don't know about Fizdale either way. The truth is, all we know so far is that because if you look into his Grizzly tenure, and I'm going to put up a thread on the screen from my man Shwini Poo, who really looked into Fizdale in Memphis, and pretty much shows you that Fizdale didn't really perform that well, considering when the stars were there, he did well. When they were healthy, he did okay. When they were injured, he didn't do well at all. And it kind of matches up with what they thought it was. But I'll say this. Even if you think Fizdale is good, he's not that good that firing him or keeping him is going to sway the franchise in like one way or another.
Right,
like,
I got you.
It's not like Fizdale is secretly like a young Phil Jackson and we fired him and now, watch, now Fizdale's going to go to another championship. I think we all know that's not true. So for me, It's like, at this point, we've seen 104 games. It kind of hasn't worked. So I'm like, let's see Mike Miller for the rest of the season. If it does not improve, get rid of everyone. And I'm sorry, Scott Perry, you kind of drafted in, but clean house. Interim coaches are weird. It's basically like they're going to keep him. It's hard to find a coach during the season. Guys are with teams. Things are already starting. Things are already in the thick of things. I would basically tell Mike Miller, you're running this team for the rest of the season. but start laying the groundwork for Becky Hammond. Becky!
I already said it. This is the Becky that we want. This is the Becky we want with the good hair.
The Becky with the good hair.
I agree. I hope that no one thinks, and I know people call us delusional fans. It's not that we're delusional fans. We're just die-hard fans.
We're hopeful.
I hope that no one thinks that, oh, we fired Fizz, so now we're going to be good. No. It's a lot deeper than that. That's what's going on. I did feel, and I do feel unfair for these guys that are playing because they haven't been in the right system. And coaching was one part of it. Obviously, management is another part of it. And I'm really interested to see what happens. You know, it's so crazy with the Knicks doing so bad. Well, obviously, these are the things that happen, but we stay on the headlines. We stay on the headlines.
I mean, you can't avoid it. Listen, I do not think that I have a lot of issues with the summer. You know, I was excited with some of the guys they brought in. I know they wanted to win, but I really wanted them to take some of that money and basically auction it off to the NBA. Like, hey, give us a guy you don't want, give us a pick. They basically spent all the money, which is something I'm still upset about. I'm like, they should have signed maybe 5 guys, and then the rest of like the other 3 guys, don't sign them and use that money as an asset. They didn't do that. The roster has a lot of issues. RJ and Randall both occupy the same spaces. There's not enough shooting. I'm not telling you the Fizdale got a great roster and it was his fault. But the Charlotte Hornets, who are projected to be the worst team in the NBA by a mile, are 9-14. Their coach, James Borrego, who actually knows Fizz from back in the day, was a Spurs guy. They're overachieving right now. Last year, same issues with Fizz. We were tanking, whatever. This year, this is the roster. We are not a 4-win team. We are not a 4-18 team. I'm not saying we're a good team or a playoff team. I don't even think we'd have 10 wins. But we're not a
8. At least 8.
And not just that. These 40-point blocks are clearly to me so above and beyond any like analysis. I'm like, if you're losing by 40 twice in the same week with days off in between, that's deeper than just like basketball.
It is deeper than that. It is deeper than that. And they were also talking about the viewership last night for the Knicks was quite low. And I think I want to say the Rangers and someone else, whoever else, the other 2 sporting teams that played had a lot better ratings. Now,
and it's money
as well. Right. Now, last night, talking about money, and I said this last night, you and I have never left a game early, ever, to beat traffic or for any other reason, right? Because I also believe in, you know, kind of supporting the team till the end. Last night was the first night we had ever left a game early. And we left early by what, like maybe 6 minutes, right? Well, 6 minutes left.
6 minutes left in the fourth, yeah.
I watched people getting up, and I mentioned it last night. I watched so many fans that were getting up and walking out, and I had never seen that before.
Right.
And it felt like a movement. And I even said, we're part of the movement, and we've got to change things. Things got to change. Fizdale's got to go. You know, Scott and Steve, other things are going to have to change, and we're going to see some changes. And these players that are on the team right now, you spoke about us using all the money. Yes, we use all the money, but we also know that these guys are going to get traded beginning of next year to go play with other teams where they can make a difference.
Hopefully, because to me now, you know, that's the next step. If they don't trade these guys and get good deals, I'm like,
they have to.
Listen, the good thing about this, and this is another point I've been making for days, is that this is why people want to just point to the Knicks in the past and say, oh, the Knicks are doing the same thing they always do. That's not the case. The Knicks right now have a path forward. One thing this regime did is they actually created basically safety valves and life vests for what they were doing. In the past, what we do is spend all the money and be locked in for like 5 years. And now this is the team, and like you have no more picks, so you have to make it work.
So we're not locked in. We're not locked in on anything. We have a lot. To me, we have a lot of flexibility.
A lot of flexibility.
And now, you know, whatever coach comes in, I want to see them allow our players, our young guys, play. Coach them and let them play. Frank has been doing well. We've seen great improvements with him. Let him continue playing. Mitch started doing well with DeAndre as his mentor and then kind of fell off. So he needs that mentor. And that mentor really is supposed to be the coach. I mean, yes, I know you have players on the team that are the captain and give you inspiration and stuff. But to me, that mentor that is teaching Mitch did not get into any foul trouble last night. Crazy.
But it felt like it was on him because Mitch tweeted 2 days ago, I have to be better. That's the problem. Another problem with Fizz. I kind of felt like these guys, like I didn't see he was buddy with them.
You didn't see him giving them direction.
Yeah, I didn't see steps forward. Kevin looks so much worse right now. So
than he looked last year.
Yeah, and listen, Mike Miller was with a young, developing Westchester Knicks team. He helped these guys become who they ended up being. So I want to see if Mike Miller is going to be the guy. At least you get this season. Let him work with the kids. Let's see what happens. Maybe he can earn his way to being the real coach. But I'm sorry, the Fizdale issues went back to last year. Lack of a system, lack of accountability, inconsistent rhetoric. It all was there. Even though we were tanking, you felt it. And now you look at this season, it's the same thing. And I never felt a sense of urgency from him that like, oh shit, I might get fired. So I'm kind of like, I'm sorry. I feel like...
Not even a sense of urgency, I might get fired, but a sense of urgency in we need to win. We need to win some games.
Exactly.
Like that sense of urgency. Like the sense of urgency in I'm not doing my job because my job is to have these guys in the right frame of mind going out there like we're going to win. We're going to win against... Who did they play against the other day? And they were like, Giannis and the Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks, right.
They basically, it seemed like they went in saying, oh, well, the Bucks are a great team, so they're probably going to win. Who cares? Who cares if they're a great team and they're probably going to win? That should never come out of your mouth.
Right. And even
you should still be saying, yeah, they're a great team, and you know what? We're going to step our game up to compete with them. They didn't feel last night that they were even competing.
Yeah, and it's been a couple of games like this. That's the thing. With Fizz, it always felt like he was praising guys around the league after the game. He'd be like, oh my God, Giannis, you see that guy? And I'm kind of like, I don't give a F about Giannis right now. I wanted you to talk about why. Like, keep saying these guys, the guys didn't come out to play tonight. I'm like, but that's your fault. You can't just say that.
That's your job. Your job is to get them to come out and play.
If they're not ready to play, like, okay, you could say one guy wasn't mentally ready to play, but a group of guys not being ready to play is your coaching. I'm sorry. Guys don't come together as a group and decide we're all going to be depressed and stop playing hard. It's what's coming from the coach. And that, again, step up. It's what's coming from the GM, from the president, from the owner. So I will not, like I said, I'm not telling anyone, and you're saying the same thing, that things are going to change now. But this is the first domino. I think Fizdale up to this point, had not shown anything that said you could stick to this. This is something he's doing that makes sense. So he's gone. The roster is not great, but it's not as bad as we've seen. So right now, it's a very simple path forward. Trade the vets. Let Mike Miller do his developmental thing. Let's see what happens. And if at the end of the season, we do not see tangible steps forward, get rid of Perry, get rid of Mills, get rid of Mike Miller, pay Masai anything he wants, bring in Becky Hammond, and let's go.
Masai already said that he's not coming to play for the Knicks.
No. He said that years ago. You know what Masai likes? Likes money, not $1 bills like I got here. But listen, you can pay president, GM, anything you want. It's not like a salary cap thing. So I'm like, listen, if you're telling me next summer we're talking about Masai and Becky Hammond, but listen, I'm not even going to go that far. This is very simple to me. Fizdale, to me, did not move the needle so much in a positive direction that it was worth keeping him over trying something else. Right. If Fizdale had a track record in the NBA and we saw him do this with other teams and we were like, okay, give him time. He always does this. But to this point, you've not seen that from him. So I'm like, even if you think he was great and was secretly great,